Galle was known as Gimhathitha in ancient times. The term is believed to have derived from the classical Sinhalese term meaning port near the river Ging. It is a fortified city built by the Portuguese who arrived in Sri Lanka in the year 1505. The interaction between the Portuguese architectural styles and native traditions is predominantly visible in Galle. The fort itself, originally known as the Black Fort, was built by the Portuguese around 1580. The Dutch took over the Galle fort after a battle with the Portuguese in 1640 and rebuilt it, closely sticking to the Portuguese layout, but with much stronger ramparts, bastions, etc. At the ground level, from front to the back, the ramparts were at least 100 feet thick. The circuit of 3 seasides is roughly 1.25 miles. The diameters of the fort were about 900 yards from north to south and 700 yards from east to west. The word Galle derives from the Dutch word gallus, which means rooster. The Dutch have used the rooster as a symbol of Galle. The British took over the Dutch territories in Sri Lanka in 1796. They effected only minor modifications to the existing structure as there was no threat from outside enemies. The old Dutch buildings in the fort were converted into offices and residences of the high-ranking officials who ran the administration of the southern province as well as commercial establishments. The British also improved the road network and the parapets of the fort. Roads were widened and provided with street lamps in the first decade of the 20th century. The street names given by the Dutch were not changed, but Anglicized. The lighthouse was built by the British in 1938. In the Dutch period, a cannon was fired on the arrival or departure of a ship. The first lighthouse was built in 1848 from wood at the end of Lighthouse Street on Flag Rock. The former lighthouse was the first one built in Sri Lanka, and its gas lamp caught fire in 1936 and burnt to the ground. The watcher sacrificed his life by jumping off the lighthouse. In another few years, the British era in Sri Lanka came to an end, and the Paradise Island started enjoying its independence as a nation. Galle, after independence, made tremendous achievements as a city, driving in many directions. On 26 December 2004, the city was devastated by the massive tsunami caused by the 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake, which occurred off the coast of Indonesia, 1,000 miles away. Thousands were killed in the city alone. Galle is home to the Galle International Stadium, which is considered to be one of the most picturesque cricket grounds in the world. The ground, which was severely damaged by the tsunami, was rebuilt and test matches resumed there on 18th December 2007. With the passage of time, it replaced the sorrowful days with sweet memories, very special moments, including those of world-renowned Australian cricketer Shane Warne and Sri Lanka's Muthaiya Muralidharan. Behind all these achievements in Galle were the guardians of our nation, the brave and committed soldiers of the Sri Lanka. They volunteered themselves to protect the precious lives from a devastating natural catastrophe and to rebuild the city. Going beyond their scope of work, they did their best in all the efforts towards that and succeeded. Thanks to their great work and commitment, the fort is still very much a garrison town. Thanks to the Honorable Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, Honorable Minister Sagala Ratnayaka, Sri Lanka Army and Sri Lanka Air Force. Presented by the Fairway Galle Literary Festival, sponsored by Sri Lanka Tourism Promotion Bureau.